Hi up everybody, welcome to Tuesday morning, and we're not doing a session today. Tuesdays are normally session days, but I'm recovering from the weekend, and I've got to be honest, that was the biggest and toughest race weekend I've done. If you're new to the channel, my name's Neil, and the weekend I'm talking about, on the Saturday, I actually had the opportunity to run for Wales in 34 degrees heat, and then on the Sunday was the last race of this series I've been doing, going back where it started, because a year ago at that same race was the very first upload from Ayup and Run. So it's easy week this week. I have sprinkled in a couple of sessions later on in the week, but I've got an easy run. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to get some life back in my legs, because I absolutely ran my insides outside. So enough talking, let's turn the camera around and let's enjoy this run, shall we? So no fancy musical intro, no theme. What we got coming up? Well, the next race I believe is the John Ward 5k. That's at Hereford. That's going to be an all-out PB attempt. Hopefully we'll have a bit cooler weather for when that is. If you don't know what that race is, it's another cycle track. It's incredibly fast. It's where I got my all-time PB last year of 18 minutes and 19 seconds. So given the fact that I ran 18:22 at Hereford on a windy day on a course that's got some lumps and bumps in, I reckon if the day's good I could actually bag myself a PB there. And then after that we've got a few more interesting races. We're organising getting back to Equinox for the 24-hour race that's there. That's one that me and Mrs. Ayup do every year. It's just one of my favourites. It's almost, call it a holiday. We turn up on the Friday, we go home on the Monday, and somewhere in between we run for 24 hours. What more could you ask for? What else we got? I've got the Worcester Half Marathon coming up. That's going to be another PB attempt. I've heard from so many people that it's quite a decent course, so I'll be putting the game face on for that. So let's enjoy some training, let's work towards them goals, and keep smiling while we're doing it, regardless of whatever weather or conditions we've got. I'm alright. I know I've got you lot on my shoulder with me, and that gives me loads of motivation to get out and get my training done. And I just hope that everybody watching this has got the same enjoyment and looks forward to the running just as much as I do. So let's go and get this run done, because what we're on now, 118 beats a minute, still keeping it nice and easy, and still recovering from the weekend. One thing I have decided not to do is the traditional post-race briefing video where I give you a blow-by-blow account of what happened over my weekend. I'm hoping when I've done the edit there'll be enough information in those videos, time to move on. But I do want to say Tom's made a full recovery. He had his tumble on the Saturday at the Welsh International, and on Sunday he actually did another race. He did the Chirk 10k and he did very well. So Tom's fine, no need to worry about him. He's made a granite, that man. I've nearly finished this run. What we got left? 3 minutes 23, I'm sure that said. I'm struggling to see, I haven't got my glasses on. "60 minutes easy done, and the average heart rate for that was 111 beats a minute, because it was a proper recovery run, my first run back. So I took things super gentle and enjoyed it. Thank you to all the subscribers. Normally I do a big drawn out thing on a Monday to thank everybody. I'm just gonna cut that down so we can concentrate more on what we're doing rather than wasting a whole video on thank yous. But it means everything to me. We're well over 700 subscribers now, and that's fantastic because it just gives me so much motivation to keep doing what I'm doing. But I've got to get going now. I've got work to go to. I will show you the shoes before I go. I'll just get out the sunshine, then it doesn't put screen glare on. But today I wore my Adidas Evo SL in my silver colourway, and I matched them off with some socks, and the brand of the socks is called Sporks. Yet another present from Mrs. Ayup. I chose these shoes because I really do like the Evo SLs. Excellent all-round shoe. These particular ones, these silver colourway ones, these are the shoes I wore when I first ever managed to run a 20-minute 5k and keeping my heart rate sub-threshold, which was an absolute massive milestone. So enough chatting, I've got to get to work. So until tomorrow's 60 minutes easy run, I'll see thee. Hi up everybody, welcome to Wednesday morning, and today we've got 60 minutes easy as all part of the Norwegian Singles Approach training I'm doing. And this week's a little bit different to normal because it's a reverse taper. On the weekend I did 2 races back to back, which was absolutely brutal for my body, and it deserves to be allowed to recover. And if I don't let it recover, then I run the risk of being just another YouTuber who's doing content about injury recovery. And I'd rather not do that. Injuries are a part of being runners. At some point in the future, I guarantee I'll get an injury because it's impossible not to. But I want to minimise the chances of that happening as much as possible. If I do get an injury, I want it to be from something that I've not caused, rather than an overuse injury or something similar. So we've got an easy run again today. When I do a session, it'll be a reduced session, and it's just a gradual building back in a sensible way, because why not? Why keep the intensity back on full blast and risk injury? It just doesn't make sense. So enough whittering on. Let's turn this camera around and let's run to the top of this little slope here. Well, that's the 60 minutes easy done. I'll put all the data on the screen as I always do, but it was super easy. My average heart rate there was down at 111 beats a minute, and that's all part of the reverse taper. And if I'm honest, it wasn't just a 60 minutes easy run, it was probably an elapsed time of around 90 minutes, because it actually involved quite a few stops, talking to people along the way, having a nice chat and just enjoying being out. But that's that one done. Tomorrow there is a reduced session on the schedule that I've put. Instead of doing a 6x6 minute sub threshold, I have put the 3x6 minutes on, which is what I did on the taper going into the races. Whether I do that or not, I don't know, I'll see how I feel tomorrow. I'm in no rush to get back running hard. If I have a whole week of being easy running, so be it. I'd rather err on the side of caution than be on the injured bench. But I've got to get going. I've got to get myself cleaned up and ready for work, and before I go I'm going to show you the shoes and the socks. And today we had the Adidas Evo SL in the black colourway. I haven't worn these for quite a while for a run. I've been wearing these as more fashion trainers, and I've matched that off with a nice pair of monkey socks because they are just the best. Can't beat the monkey socks. So that's it for today. Until tomorrow's reduced taper run or yet another easy run, we'll see what happens. I'll see thee. Hi up everybody, welcome to Thursday morning. And Thursdays are session days, but we're still on the reverse taper. I did have scheduled 3 by 6 minutes, sub threshold, all off 92nd, but I've changed that because today we're through at Towing. I've been working through here today, so during my dinner hour, or dinner 90 minutes, whichever you want to call it, I've changed that. I'm going to be doing 5 by 3 minutes, sub threshold off 60 seconds, just so I can use this short section of prom that's nice and flat. I haven't done my warm-up yet. If my legs are still feeling flat, empty, tired, whatever you want to call it, then I'm just going to not bother do the session, and I'm just going to enjoy a nice easy run just like I've been doing all week so far. So enough whistling on, time to get the warm-up done. I'll see you in a bit. And that's the warm-up done. So I don't feel race ready, that's for certain, but I do feel capable of doing a reduced session. So we're going to do the 5 by 3 minutes off 60 seconds. It's a really warm day today, so I will be running by feel. For those of you that like to watch the paces, expect something around the low 4 minutes a kilometre. I'll be putting some work in today, but it's not going to be right top tier of the range that I've got for my sub threshold. It's just going to be a reintroduction to working at some intensity. So that's enough waffling on. Let's get this session done. Okay everybody, it's hard to see the watch today with the sunshine, but the GPS is connected. We've got the armband connected for the Coros armband. Let's get this session done. Well, 3 minutes done. Average pace of 4:05. Feeling good, feeling hot. I'm enjoying it. (162) heart rate. That's as high as I want it to go. I'll have to keep a watch on that. I was running to feel then, and obviously got a little bit carried away. Average pace 4:06 on that one. There we go, more than halfway done. And just like what we did at Shrewsbury a few weeks back, because it's a bit warm, heart rates are much higher than the actual effort, but I don't mind it today. We're on reverse taper and not actually working as hard as what I normally do is actually a good thing. (161), that's good. And again, not bothered about pace. This is just a reverse taper run and I'm really enjoying it. What a glorious day. Look at this. How lucky am I to be running here? .161, 160, that's good. Really pleased with that. Kept a plan, good solid session, got exactly what I wanted from it. Well, that's the session in the bag, and I've also just completed the cool down as well. Really sunny conditions, making the heart rate really high compared to the effort I was doing, but that actually worked in my favour because today's run was all about a reverse taper, the reintroduction to some kind of work without going too hard, too fast, too intensive. So it was absolutely on point today. Shoes. Today I wore the Leaning Fedium 5 Challengers and I matched them off with some lovely monkey socks. So that's today in the bag. I've got to get going now. Until tomorrow's run, I'll see thee. Well, how's that for timing? All right, mate?
You go away, your way, I'll go mine, I think, today, Neil.
Yeah, no worries, buddy.
I'll see you when it's here.
All right then, mate. Hey up everybody, welcome to Friday morning, and today we're out doing 60 minutes, all nice and easy, as part of the Norwegian Singles training I'm doing. The whole point of today is not physical exercise, it's not doing anything to make gains. I treat it as basically a recovery run because the backbone of the Norwegian Singles is the 3 sub-threshold runs, and I've got one tomorrow and I want to be ready for it. What have we got left on here? Oh, 15 seconds. Right, it's been nearly finished. Well, I might as well keep the camera going then and capture the watch doing its beeps to the end. Here we go. And if you saw that then, the average heart rate for that run was 113 beats a minute, which is absolutely ideal. That's as low can be. But as usual, I've got to get home. I've got to get myself cleaned up and I've got to go to work. But I am going to show you the shoes. And today I wore the X-Tep 2000 kilometer version 5s Pros, and I matched them off with some fantastic monkey socks because you know how it goes already. You get a good pair of socks, you know you're in for a good run. So that's me done for today. Until tomorrow's reduced session day, I'll see you.